Hello, little monsters. Welcome. It is 2024 officially, and I would like to do a quick recap live and in person of 2023's Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar, my rankings for each piece, and tell you what I thought about this as a whole. So, if you've been following along day by day, you'll know that I really enjoyed this year's. I thought it was a real high point. Not a lot of duds, but we'll get into those as we go. Overall, I think it was a good mix of minifigs, good mix of little ship builds, and some nice surprises along the way. So let's just dive in here. So I've got these ranked from my least favorite to favorite. The last, of course, is going to be this is probably a Endor thing, like a treehouse for the Ewoks, I suppose. Um, I said this on the day. It's just kind of set dressing, and it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Uh, this set does have a theme. Last year was kind of a mixed theme. The year before that was all Mandalorian. This year they're kind of doing a Christmas on Endor thing. You can kind of see it here in the box art. Even though like Omega has nothing to do with Christmas on Endor, but just a loose theme, which I think is a really good idea. I don't like getting tied down to one thing. If it was just Clone Wars, if it was just Mandalorian, the way they had it, I think it would be too limiting. I think it's great to have a good mix. I want some original trilogy. I want some Clone Wars stuff. I want prequels. So a mix is great, but a loose theme I think is the best way to go. So this is following in the theme. It is three trees. Nothing you can really play with or do anything with it. It just is. So whatever. Fine. It's okay to have a dud. Second worst is Andor shield generator. You'll notice on the box art it has Christmas lights on it, which I think is very cute. Again, Christmas on Endor. No such lights here. Just kind of, I like the scale of the trees, showing that it's supposed to be huge. It's not like a little radar dish or a weapon emplacement. That it's supposed to be this huge shield generator dish thing that lives on Endor and that the rebels blow up. It's a fine little thing, but just with all the there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's just kind of, again, like set dressing. Nice to have, but not great. Okay, moving on. Justifier. I said this when it came out. Not my favorite ship design. Really like Cad Bane's older ship better, but I think they needed to upgrade him so he had some kind of cargo capacity. That's kind of seems like what they do with bounty hunters when they realize their ship is too small. It's a fine little build. I think it's my own bias that I don't like the look of the Justifier in general. I think the set that came out last year was okay, not worth the price, and not you only see it a couple times in the Bad Batch, so not like an iconic ship by any means. It's just kind of they did the best they could with this odd design. I actually do think it's quite faithful to what the Justifier looks like. It's just whatever. Okay. Uh, Mr. Christmas Probe Droid. I don't know. What do you say about this? It looks a lot like previous probe droids we've had in other sets, and we've had probe droids. I think 2 years ago, I think we had a probe droid. It's fine. I think he came with this little gunny sack, and it's pretty forgettable, but a cute, fun little build to have, especially early on in the process. Moving right along, clone turbo tank. You might call it a juggernaut. Looks good. It's a common theme. Is just kind of it exists. They did a good job with it. It is toward it's in my bottom tier just because it doesn't really wow me. What else do you say about it? It is a good looking clone turbo tank. I mentioned this on the day that like the cannon is kind of in a weird spot, and there's no rear cannon, and there's no tower like the Juggernaut had. So, whatever. I'm not going to nitpick too much about the intricacies of a very micro build, but there it is. All right, rounding up tier 3 here is our friend Omega. This is the same minifig that came in the full-size Justifier, not this one. Now, you'll notice I put her with the sleigh. The sleigh we got, I think, on day 2. That was supposed to go with her. It's a Grud minifig. Like I said, came with the Justifier. The sleigh is very odd. Uh, that white piece on the bottom is supposed to be snow and just kind of holds everything together. Is a very odd piece. It's one of those. I almost wish they had left it out. Like this doesn't. The sleigh does not really add any value for me. So that is what it is. But pretty good minifigure. Really like the hairpiece on her. She does have a second face on the back. And what else do you say about an Omega minifig? Okay, we're on to tier two. So this is my kind of second place grouping here of what I think from the 2023 Lego Advent Calendar. AAT in Clone Wars blue, not in Phantom Menace, that gray sand color. This made it to tier two because I think it's really cool. It's real. This is one of those. It's more than, it looks a lot better than you would think for something this size. Little like repulsors, I guess, on the bottom here. It's kind of neat. Love the use of the lightsaber hilt for the cannon. It's that I love those, the color scheme of the gray and blue. So really good faithful representation of the AAT. Looks a lot like the one we got in 2020. Fact check me on that. The one that came with Ahsoka almost looks better than that AAT did. They really got the lines down. It's just, yeah. I love when they can make something so small look so good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably want to swap these now because here we have the Star Destroyer, just a very basic looking Star Destroyer. As I shared this on the day, it is almost identical to the Star Destroyer, that this kind of scale Star Destroyer that came with the Executor set from last year now. Almost the same, just different colors for those tile pieces. It's fine. It is a mini Star Destroyer made up of like 6 or so pieces. I don't know what else you say about that. Okay, moving on. Hailfire Droid. This guy looks great. I love the inverted boxes here. You'll see, like, it's just like a tile or like a cube that they have flipped around, so that's where like those missiles would go. Really neat looking. Love the little cannon on front. I love that it kind of has a personality. It looks like a face, and this is supposed to be a droid after all. We kind of forget that in the media, is that all of these things are like a lot, or I should say, a lot of the clone army is made up of droids. The droid starfighter is not piloted by a droid pilot. It is a droid in itself. So kind of a neat reminder of that. I think the tri-droid is another good one of those. So yeah, solid tier two here for this guy. Looks good, looks menacing. That great Geonosis color scheme. Okay, we're getting into the good stuff now, folks. So I'm combining 2 days here because they're supposed to go together, so I'm counting them kind of as one, which may be a little unfair, but B1 Battle Droid. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Looks great, as always. Nothing really bad to say about that design. And a Stap with a little green on the bottom, so it makes me think of Naboo, the Naboo fight scene with the droids. Of course, he gets a blaster, and he's got those megaphone pieces. This looks great. It doesn't, I said this when the battle pack, the 2023, or I should say 24, right? The 2024 clone battle pack has a Stap that's not that much different from this. This build is almost, I don't want to say identical, but it's very, very close. And to think we got this in an advent calendar with a micro build is crazy. That kind of says something about that battle pack. See my review on that, the release video, for more on that. But love the Stap. I think the Stap is just, this was one of the first like promo images we saw from Phantom Menace, so it's a little bit nostalgic for me, but it just really screams prequel trilogy, and love the battle droid design. So this is really, maybe this guy belongs even higher, maybe a tier 1. I don't know, but good build, great build. Okay. 212th Clone Trooper, same as we got in the ATTE. Who couldn't have more of those in his little command center? So this is a micro build of the clone command center that we got. The same color scheme, looks just like this. It's like a little pod for them to sit in. I do love the clone designs. We've talked about the helmets. I don't think we need to cover the helmet holes anymore. It's been done to death. nor the point on the helmet that you'll notice does not come to a complete point the way it does in promo images. It's kind of, they're all shrunk down a little bit of schmutz on his helmet there. I really like the new helmet designs overall. The mold is great. Say what you will about the helmet holes. Yeah, they kind of do take some of the fun out of it. There's this brown patch on the cheeks, some kind of like shadowing that I think looks really, really good. I think this is we're on the best clone troopers we've seen yet. Fight me. All right, Lambda class shuttle. Here it is with the wings up. I really labored over this one when it came out. It's one of my favorite ships in Star Wars overall. I just love the design of it. I think maybe just seeing it in the original trilogy, like Darth Vader and the Emperor kind of hanging out in one of these, it just like it's so cool. But this build, I think it's the nose. I never really it grew on me sitting on my desk looking at it every day during the build or during that month. It did kind of grow on me, but I still think it's kind of a miss. I think it's that nose. I just can't get over how stubby it is. And it's, if you've seen the image, it's supposed to kind of have an angle to it, be like a trapezoidal or like a, come to a flat tip, but then flare out in the sides. And this just goes straight down. So I can't dissociate this from the Bad Batch shuttle, the Havoc Marauder, as we call it. It just looks like that, which has like a much pointier edge than a Lambda class, and I think that's my biggest concern with it. Love the wing there, that like it's like a mast of a ship. It's just something. It's such a bold, weird looking ship, and I think that's why I love it so much. And maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time with this micro build, is it just doesn't sell it. These wings being too small, again, reminds me of the Bad Batch shuttle, which has skinnier wings. This should have big, broad wings, kind of like that fin, that dorsal fin on it. So, still tier 2. It's wrapping up our tier 2 list here. I do like it in general. I just wanted more, and I think, again, I'm a little biased because it's one of my favorite ships in Star Wars. I love the Lego versions. So, kind of a bittersweet moment for that one. Okay, we are into the big boys now. This is tier 1. Quick recap, we kind of went over. Was my bottom of the barrel back here, and then second tier where these guys are starting to get pretty good, or even I would just say great. And now we're into the awesome showstoppers. So I don't know why I love this so much. I've been looking at it here. You see the little mini build of it on the thing, on the box art. So I knew it was coming, and every time I looked at it, I just thought, God, that's so cool. I love those grill pieces, and it just so simply with like 6 or 8 pieces, they perfectly captured this bunker, the bunker door to the Endor shield generator. They just did a great job with it. They knocked it out of the park. Back, nothing to look at really, but just so simple and so like reminiscent of that part. Super biased with this. I don't have any particular affinity for the bunker or anything. It's not like my favorite set location or anything. I just really like this build. It's 10 out of 10 for what they were trying to do, and maybe it's just that is they perfectly captured this what they were trying to do. Speaking of, ATST looks great. Again, with such small piece count, they were able to get this looking so awesome. As I said in the review or the day of, if you put little things on the side here, that would have been awesome. Would have loved to see, some like the rocket launcher things that go on the side. But otherwise, it's a 10 out of 10, right? It looks so good. I love that they got these weird angles. It's not the easiest thing to translate. If you've looked at the ATSTs we've had in the last couple of years, they always kind of look silly. It's hard to get those angles perfectly right. There was a 4+ one that came out last year that, of course, looked ridiculous. There was a smaller one that came out with the UCS AT-AT that was also just like didn't land for me. I almost think the Mandalorian one is the best we've had recently, that just captured those angles, because it is a very awkward looking thing to translate to Lego, especially thinking about weight and how top heavy it is. But that's why they put a big old base brick on this one. So A plus, tier 1, of course. Moving on, speaking of Endor, we got Princess Leia and her cookie. Very interesting choice here. I mentioned this, that the hairpiece is from a different set. It is a great hairpiece. There is this weird hole on the top of, I guess that's just how they mold it. That's very odd. So she has her cookie that's supposedly like the food that she gives to Wicket when she meets him. Great Princess Leia design. Love the leg printing. Love her Endor outfit is one of my favorites. Little hood in the back. It's great. No arm printing would have been nice, but there's nothing really like it's kind of a simple like drab olive thing. They could have just I guess put some color on it, but she looks great. The body is from one set. The hair is from another. I don't know why they just didn't give her the Endor helmet that she had in the set that she's wearing this outfit. And that's where the cookie came from too. The cookie is very bizarre. I don't know why they included it. They could have easily just left it out. It's not in the box art at all. But, it's cute. I don't know. It makes me think of Christmas, I guess. So, yeah, great Leia minifig. Great looking Endor outfit there. So that's awesome. Getting down to the wire, these are like my top favorites now. Mandalorian's Naboo N1 Starfighter. I didn't love this when it came out. I just thought it was okay. And as it's kind of sat on my desk, I've learned to really appreciate how it looks. I love the trans blue there and that hint of yellow. So the yellow is like reminiscent of the original color. And then, if you've seen The Mandalorian, all of the yellow is gone and there's just some like mechanical stuff and some plain chrome sticking out. So this does a really good job of referencing that. You'll also notice there's a square tile for the cockpit and the round tile on the back. That round clear tile is the bubble dome that Baby Yoda hangs out in. So cute. Yeah, I think that just kind of solidifies this as this is Mandalorian's his N1, not just a reskinned version of a regular Naboo starfighter. Love those pointy pieces for the I don't know what they are, the tails of the engines, and then this drill piece on the end too as well. Looks awesome. Just so simple. Again, I'm always blown away at the advent calendars how they can make it look so good with so few pieces. And let's not forget that there's only one image for all of these. Like how to build these is you just get this one square. So they have to be able to paint that picture. Like here's an example of the Justifier. Like that, there's a lot of pieces in there, and they have to tell that story in one page with using arrows. So not super easy to do. I'm always really wowed at their ability to do that. And there's some problems sometimes. Like the Omega sleigh was not really clearly laid out in the image. Okay, moving on. Endor theme continues with the speeder bike. Love the speeder bike. Again, I do like Endor. I like Return of the Jedi a lot. So there is a bit of nostalgia involved, but I think they have the little saddlebags on the back that I always remember, and I just remember seeing those in the film and wondering what do they put in there? It's just more gear, or like what does a scout trooper need? Does he have a tent in there? Irrelevant, but it always just made me wonder, and I love that they paid tribute to that. There's a little bit on the back, which is accurate, and little guys on the side. It's really simple. It looks good. A Reddit user pointed out that these like almost lightsaber hilt pieces would be perfect for a Darth Maul double-bladed lightsaber. Couldn't agree more. That would look awesome. So we've had the ability to do an actual double-bladed lightsaber this whole time, and it's just right there waiting for us. So maybe for our next Darth Maul someday. But really great, really accurate for what it's supposed to be, which is a speeder bike, and just looks awesome. And again, it's on brand of Christmas on Endor. Okay, top three here. Of course, this little guy, Christmas Ewok. He was our last day. It was just this Christmas Ewok. He's all white and wearing a little Christmas sweater. How cute is that? He does come with a glider, like from the films. He has to put his arms behind him to work it, which is very awkward. I don't care for that. I guess there's some playability, but if you asked me, I would rather just not have the glider. I don't. This doesn't really. I guess you can swoosh him around, but yeah, the glider itself is just very basic, very boring. So nothing really to say about that. But I think this little guy is freaking adorable, and I love it. Love it. Love to see it. Love the. Of course, I'm gonna be, more generous toward the custom looking designs for Christmas rather than like, hey, it's a 212th trooper. Like, it's another one of those that we've seen before. Another B1 battle droid. But I'm here for the custom parts, the custom minifigs. So yeah, of course I'm gonna like this a lot more because it's specifically Christmassy and there's nothing. I'm big on displays, as you know. So thinking about, I could display this with the other Christmassy ones around Christmas, but like at the end of the day, at the end of the year, when I'm putting away my Christmas decorations, what am I going to do with the speeder bike parts? Parts to a speeder bike. So, it's not really about that. It's not, the advent calendar isn't, I don't think it's designed to be a collectible or have like all these exclusive minifigs. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just commenting that I've got several years of advent calendars that just amounts to a bunch of random pieces. So, just a thought. Okay, so cute little guy, love it. He's my third to favorite. Of course, the goat is the Christmas gonk droid. We had one last year that was just kind of red and had like a little hat on and was fine. This one just slays me. I love the little tail. I love these robot arms. His little button nose kind of has a face on it, whereas like a gonk droid doesn't really have a face. It's just kind of flat. But like I love the just anthropomorphication or whatever personification of this and like the gonk droid is just such a funny meme just for the lols. So I love that they include it and they've been doing it the last few years. I want to see more. There was one in the Bad Batch that featured prominently, so like the meme is very much alive with the gonk droid. It's cute. It's Christmassy, it's Star Warsy, it's fun, and that's why we're all here, right? Is to have fun. All right. So last but not least, my number one is going to be the Emperor with his cup of coffee or hot cocoa and his lightning bolt. There's nothing that I do like the chair. I like the chair quite a bit. It's not as detailed as the one that came in the diorama, the Death Star throne room, but it is very detailed. It's a really good looking chair. Looks a lot like it should, like it does in the film. Great face, Emperor face. He's wearing a Death Star ugly Christmas sweater. Isn't that cute? And it is the same sweater. We had this sweater 2 years ago with Vader. It was a Christmas Darth Vader minifig. And same sweater, so same body piece that they just swapped onto some Emperor legs and an Emperor shroud. But he looks good. I love the coffee cup. I think, 2 years ago we had a Poe. We had a Poe with an ugly sweater and a coffee mug too. So like this is kind of a theme we have going on. But look at that. I mean, come on. And the same weird but really cool looking lightning supposed to be coming out of his hands. They kind of lampoon this in the Lego Star Wars video game of these like weird like short little lightning things. It's really hard to depict lightning in Lego, but I kind of do. I have a soft spot for these pieces. I just think they look nice. They're good, kind of just implication of what they're supposed to be. But yeah, big mood, right? Got my lightning, my coffee cup. I'm ready to go to Christmas. So he does have legs, which is good. They're pretty similar to Darth Vader legs. They might even be the same. But he is going to round out the rest of our 2023 Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar. This is overall with a couple of duds. I would like, I'm going to say it. This tree is like the only one that I was like disappointed to get. Like getting just the glider on a day sucked too, I guess. But like in context with the Ewok, he's good. You know, if it was just a chair, I'd be pissed. But obviously, the chair goes with Papa Palpatine. So overall, this has been a really amazing year. If like the worst thing we get is a tree and a shield generator and like a ship I don't care about, I think that's a pretty good year. So this is the best year in recent memory as far as based on my own opinion. But what do you think? Let me know. Was there a highlight this year for you? Best year lately? Was there a better year? Let me know. Like and subscribe if you're new. This has been a lot of fun. I love going through these every day. One of my favorite things that I look forward to every Christmas is sharing these with you folks. So thank you so much for everyone who's followed along these last 24 days and some change. And stay tuned for more videos. And next year we'll hit 2024's Advent Calendar. We'll see what they have. But that's all for me. Captain Let's Dance here. Thank you all for watching. Take care of each other. May the force be with you. Bye-bye.